Hi guys, this is Caitlin Troy, and I'm going to be sharing what my game was that I created through Gamestar Mechanic to support my lesson. So first, hopefully you can see this. If you were to go to my blog site and go under artifacts, scroll down. So here's just my artifact page. This is the action research project, and here is the lesson plan that I wrote for this lesson with Gamestar Mechanic. Maybe let me just zoom out here. So in my lesson, my aim, you can see right here, is students will be able to use knowledge on slopes of a linear relationship and apply that to video game creation. So one thing sort of about my lesson, just a little background, at my school, and I teach in New York City, and in middle schools across the city, all students have double math periods and double ELA periods to sort of ensure, students will be more successful come May for the New York State 8th grade and 7th grade English and math tests. So this lesson that I'm going to explain will take place over a double period, which would be about 84 minutes. So it's a good chunk of time. So I would say sort of the class, maybe the first period and the second period would talk about linear relationships, which students would know, talk about slopes, maybe review homework. My launch to the mini lesson is, again, review slope, y-intercept, and other details on linear relationship, just sort of talk about the vocab. And one thing I really want to push, right, and so maybe with my questioning is, where do we see slope and these math concepts outside the walls of the classroom? So then I would have a little mini lesson where I would introduce what we're going to be doing today. I put 10 minutes, which honestly I probably should edit, because as I worked through with Gamestar Mechanic myself, it definitely took a little bit longer. But anyway, so in the mini lesson, introduce the program to the students, discuss how steepness relates to slopes, and where we see steepness in the real world. We can talk about just, again, other instances like Mount Everest, hills, waterslides, and amusement parks. Review those concepts on slopes, and then say that based off some slopes that I am going to give, they're going to incorporate that into their video game. And then the fourth thing will be for them to have a work time, so just get started. In my lesson plan here, I wrote no assessment, but after our Twitter discussion on Monday, I think it would be really helpful if I created some sort of rubric or something to assess how they actually did with the application of the program, as well as the math content itself. But again, this is a work in progress. And if you did want to come to my website, I guess I'll make this full screen again. If you did want to come to my blog, I left a little feedback form for you to include any feedback. So I guess that's a little bit of feedback that I would give myself. So anyway, into my game. So I titled my video game Slope Course. I believe that's the one. In this game, I created 2 levels. So I kind of envisioned this game being used for a couple different reasons. So here I've just created a basic course where the avatar or the player is trying to get from start to the finish. And I sort of envisioned that I would give my students some restrictions. So I would say within your game, you need to have a slope of 1 evident in your hill. So here I can see up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1 unit, up 1 over 1 unit. There is my slope of 1. I would also require students to have a negative slope. So maybe here I would see down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a slope, a negative 1/4. Maybe I would tell students they would need to have a very steep slope. So here I would have up 1, 2 over 1, 1, 2 over 1 unit, that being a slope of positive 2. I might tell them that they need to include, again, maybe not using grass, using blocks, a slope where the slope is 0, maybe evidence where the slope would be undefined. I might tell them that they need to have a place where there's a nonlinear, which means not straight, examples of nonlinear relationships. So here in the clouds, I kind of put this little U shape, like a parabola or exponential equation, right? So that would be an example of maybe where we would see something nonlinear into our unit. So that's sort of an example of that. Again, down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, and then finishing the game. So I can just play that, I believe, right there. And so play and just show you again. So they would be going through the course using the avatar, using these different slopes, getting the coins, and then getting to the end. So that's sort of what I envisioned for my level 1 of the slope course. Okay, edit. And now for my level 2. So then the other way I was thinking about using this, and what I did was I created a maze. So within the maze, there's my avatar guy. Just like any fun game, there's going to be educational questions. So I sort of envisioned that students could create, or I could create a game where within their maze, for example, they would have questions embedded. So I have questions here. My title is slope. So what is the slope of the line y equals 2x plus 4? The answer is 2. And then students would need to write that down. So I guess as I'm talking this out loud, I could see either myself creating a video game off Gamestar Mechanic where students would answer questions, or even to push that thinking, students could create a game with their own questions and have a friend play, which now that I'm saying out loud is most likely the route that I would go. And so just to show you here, so I made all my cement. I have these little avatar guys going. I have it set up. So, oh, there I hit a question. So I would need to answer this question. What is the slope of a line that passes through 2, 2, 3, -1? Have it set up where he can start at the top of the next page, so it goes over, which is a little tricky to figure out. And then again, just answering questions relating to slope as we go through. So that's sort of what I envisioned for my lesson. Again, this is totally a work in progress, but if students were able to do this, I think it would be really engaging for all types of learners, and it would really hit the content level objectives, right? So students knowing about slope and linear relationships is a really big topic in the 8th grade curriculum and aligns to that Common Core state standards. And again, I think this program is awesome. Let's see, no, edit. I think this program is awesome because this can be really basic, like I kind of showed with level 1, where students are just creating a course and just showing the different slopes in the grass, or it could be a little more intricate and they could, like I did in level 2 with creating your own maze, creating questions, adding different enemies and different elements, that are included in Gamestar Mechanics. So I think this is a really great activity for all types of learners, all types of levels, and still, regardless, hits the same content level objectives. So thanks for taking the time to listen and watch this. I'm really looking forward to hearing any feedback because, again, like I said, this is all a work in progress. So have a great week. Bye.